here. Definitely just to point out, the reason we're looking at this is because it truly is generating huge returns for teams that are leveraging the technology, and in the order of magnitude of 50, 100% and more increases over their prior results. So it's drastically having an impact on team finances. And what I'm going to focus on in the demo is showing you the key points of where that is and why that happens. We'll definitely spend some time looking at the administrative side so you can see setup and configuration and management. But the key for me is really conveying the message that at the family level, you get promotion and donation experience that just knocks it out of the park.
I can imagine. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So with that said, I am going to focus initially on the family's view and how they interact. But before I go there, I'm just going to spend a few minutes on the little promotion tool that you have internally in the system to kind of let your families know and communicate with your families throughout the process. So you can kind of see the chronology of how you get things started, how you get the ball rolling, if you will.
Right.
And this is where we're at. We're on a little email center version here for TeamUnify that's inside the TeamUnify system. So under TeamUnify admin, you would be able to access the little promotion tool that we're looking at. And you can use this, to launch your fundraiser, but also re-communicate with your families throughout the process with this little filtering mechanism where I can say, I want to talk to or send an email to all my accounts that don't have any donors yet, or folks who haven't used the donor email tool. So nice little set of tools to make the communication process very quick, very painless to all of your families. We have a bunch of templates set up, so if you want to use our templates, we highly recommend it because it's easy. It queues up the appropriate content and text that you'd want to be talking to anyway. You can come in here and edit this if you wanted, but right out of the box, these templates do a great job of getting the word out. Key is they also give a set of instructions to your families, and this is how you begin fundraising here.
So from there, we could basically go into this screen and send out an email to the people on our list from TeamUnify for them to use this.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. Is you're canvassing your families internally. So all whether it's by billing group or roster group or just my entire active account base.
Yes.
I'm sending them a promotion email internally to get all my families moving on fundraising.
Oh, okay, great. So that's already hooked up to the emails that we have in our system from TeamUnify.
Yeah, this will be turned on. This capability will be turned on when you choose to use the TeamUnify system.
Okay, great.
And it's all right here. You send this off, and that's going to land in your family's inbox, just like you see this email on my Gmail account here.
Oh, yeah.
Again, think of me as a swim team family here, opening up my email. It's from you, the administrators on the team, talking about what we're doing. But the key here is I click on this link, and it's going to put me right on a page, a login page.
Okay.
So there's no guessing there. The family, is logging in with their credentials. And the next piece of that is that when I log in, the link that we've rendered there automatically puts me on the Swimathon page.
Oh, wow.
So in a few clicks, I as a family, I don't have to go and try and find this stuff. I've opened up right to the Swimathon area where I'm going to take care of the stuff I need to. The instructions in that email say, hey, watch that red help video button, which is right there.
Okay.
So they're going to watch that help video, and it's going to walk your families through the next two things I'm going to look at right here. First of all, your families can configure and personalize their profile landing page, and that's what it's open to right here. I can change this message. I can put in a photo instead of the stock icon that comes as a default. I can change it to my full name versus my first name. But bottom line, there is a pre-templated profile here tied to that swimmer's information in the database that donors can land on.
Yeah.
In case you don't have families that come in here and actually tinker with this stuff, there is a place there already made for them to land on. So they have control, whether they want to change it, make it personalized, or just take what's out of the box.
Okay.
Next piece of that video is this promotion tab right here. And we've lit up these two tabs on purpose because that's where the families need to be looking. This video will walk them through this next promotion piece that we're going to look at. And if you remember one thing from this demo, this promotion piece is it right here. This is what generates the big returns that teams are seeing. And it is substantial. And there's several reasons why, and that's what I'm going to
Okay.
The promotion piece enables your families to, in a matter of minutes, go out and just canvass a bunch of people with far less effort than the manual door-to-door phone call, email, or phone physical mailing through postal service kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to come here and click on my social tab. That gives me a integration point right out to Facebook. Technology does all this heavy lifting for me. All I do is put in my credentials, and I'm linked out to the Facebook universe where I can post those messages and links back. So link right back to my profile page to capture those donations.
Oh, wow.
So in a matter of seconds there, I've linked into the universe where I might get hundreds, potentially thousands of contact points that might turn into potential donations there. So that's a very powerful piece to this equation.
Yeah.
Second piece to the promotion and canvassing is the email utility that we have here. We've created this so it makes it easy for families to go and grab email. So I just click on that area. I have access and the ability to bring in email from all of these sources, including my local address book, whether I'm on a Windows machine or Mac. In this case, I'm going to show you the Gmail example because that's where my account is. I just click on Gmail, I grant access, and the technology is going to bridge out to that Gmail account. It's going to pull in all those email addresses for me. I don't have to go do this manually. And in a matter of just moments, I've got access to over 1,000 contacts here in this case. I can flag all those contacts in one click with the little all link there, or I can just go down this list and grab names that I want to canvas to.
And these are pulling emails from your from the user's computer, right?
Well, in this case, from my Gmail account.
Oh, from your own Gmail account. Okay.
Yep. But I can also grab from my local address book as well if I choose to do that.
I see.
Okay. So I go down this list. Last year I did this with my son's team. In a little under 10 minutes, I grabbed over 100 names. And from that list of 100 names, email alone, not looking at Facebook, garnered almost $600 in donations just from the list of names.
Wow. Okay.
So again, and this is also just a matter of minutes here to go and grab these names. I click next. The technology brings those into my invite list where I can now go take that invite list that I just created through those easy tools, flag them in one click email, queues up that list for me. And again, I have templates as a family here. I don't have to invent anything. I can use the templates that TeamUnify is structured here. They get the job done. They tell that potential donor what's going on and gives them all the necessary details. But most importantly, gives them that call to action. Click on the green donation button there, and it gives them that link to click on. So they click on that link, and that donor who received that email is going to pop right onto that swimmer's profile page, see the info about the event and that swimmer's profile. But most importantly, there's that donation button. They're already thinking donate, so they're going to click on that button. And here's the next piece to this equation is a very dynamic donation mechanism here, where that donor can donate specifically to that swimmer that promoted to them, or they can go up a level and donate to the family. Let's say it's somebody that knows all the kids in the family. They can donate to the family very easily in one click. They can pull a donation level right off a list that you create. So this is your own personalized list that you create. This is just an example. Queue up a donation here, splits that up for me automatically, or maybe they're going to write in their own donation.
Oh, okay.
So if I put in $62 here, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to do that math for me and split it up. This donation amount is our average online donation. So $62 is a very big number. It's consistently 40 to 50% higher than offline cash and check donations that you get offline. And that is a psychological thing that just exists in the world of giving. And you can go see this from other sources. Mm-hmm. Making that online credit card donation is less painful and tends to be higher dollars than cash or check. And that's consistent across the board. Mm-hmm. So one key reason, we've got the promotion piece, easy to do very quickly to lots of people. Second key reason, you're going to get lots of donations that are, on average, going to be higher dollars through this mechanism. And we'll talk about the third leg of that stool here in a little bit. But before I go there, I wanted to address the TeamUnify donation processing fee. We do charge a $3.95 processing fee per donation, and we do that at this point because you're successful right here. You've garnered collect our revenue, which is very different than a lot of tools out there who charge you an upfront license fee or a startup fee. We don't do that. We take that off the table. We only really are charging you when you garner donations in the system.
Okay.
And the next piece of that is you can push that fee entirely to the donor as an automatic checkout charge. What we have set up here and that we're looking at this moment is a choice for the donor to cover that fee, but you can also set this up so it just automatically appears. It doesn't give them a choice. It automatically appears as a checkout charge. So in this case, if we did that, it would be $65.95, and they would check out at that amount. We've processed millions of dollars under that model, and it's very successful because donors are already giving up dollars to help you out, helping you cover the cost of the platform, not a big deal. And again, it pushes that expense out to the donor on your behalf. So very useful processing fee model there.
So if the donor donates the processing fee, if they do not, then that would be charged to us on a separate billing, something like that?
Right.
Okay.
Right, but keep in mind, you can automatically push that to the donor. You don't have to give them a choice. That happens to be what we have set up here.
Yes.
But you don't have to do that. You can have this basically the minute they put in an amount or pick a number from here or whatever that list looks like, it's going to put $3.95 on their checkout charge.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay. Email address, donor comment, how you want to display that information. And then down here, highly secure credit card transaction window here. So those details go in. We're going to process against the credit card that's put in here. Keep in mind, there is merchant processing. So, that's just the reality of doing business with a credit card is the receiver of funds is going to pay a merchant processing fee. And our partner is Process Pink, and they charge 2.95% plus 30 cents, kind of right in the middle of industry standard pricing there.
Okay.
So that's that piece. Billing info of that donor goes in at this very last window here, and then that donor is going to click Donate Now. And a key to this, the third leg of the stool of this equation, is that those dollars are on their way to your account immediately. So they're en route. You've basically more or less garnered this transaction, and it's a done deal. And that's very different than the old style of fundraising from the standpoint that you might get a bunch of promises to pay. It might look really good today. You're going to get a bunch of donations. But 4 months down the road, when you try and collect against those, you're going to see some of those disappear. It's just a thing that happens pretty consistently. Donors forget to send checks. Families miss deadlines. It is a nature of the beast. Whereas here, we've captured that donor's attention immediately online, and we've immediately created that donation transaction. It is underway and a done deal. So that also adds to this three-legged stool that really amplifies returns and results that teams are seeing through the TeamUnify system. Okay, any questions there?
Does the credit card option allow for PayPal as well, or no?
Nope, this is strictly just through our processing partner, Process Pink.
Oh, okay.
They are the ones that are connected into our system, and we've developed around their solution to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. And you said the per donation is 2.95% fee, correct?
Yeah, 2.95% plus 30 cents a transaction.
Plus 30 cents a transaction. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty standard for any credit card. And to get to this page, that's where I was concerned. You said you just basically turn it on if we decide to take it. Is that how it works?
Once you decide to take it, and one reason I've been itching to get in touch with you is you don't have a processing account enabled. At least I don't see one in the system.
Okay.
And so it's key if you want to use TeamUnify. It's key to get that moving, to get that. Contact our processing partner, get your application in. It can happen pretty quickly, but you definitely have to get the application in and get it moving, so that we can connect the wires here with TeamUnify.
Okay, yeah, I see. So that would require just a form that we fill out online. You send it over.
It's a application process through our partner, and what I'll do is I'll send you an email with instructions and contact info for our processing partner, and you'll reach out to them. You'll initiate the process. They'll tell you exactly the items they need to get your application completed and in the approval process. And it can take 2 weeks to get an account, but I've also seen it happen in a matter of a day, 2 or 3 days.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It just depends how much you have your ducks in a row and how much reach out and push the process.
I understand. So that would be for the use of the credit card billings.
Correct. And
Yeah.
that's a seasonal, well, what we call seasonal, but it's a temporary account. You can use it just for TeamUnify only. There is a fee associated with the processor. It's not our fee. It's the processor's gateway fee of $12 a month for a minimum of 3 months. So to have that gateway on for, to use it under the system, it is, $36 to turn it on for 3 months to use with TeamUnify.
Okay.
Again, that's not our fee. That's their fee. But with that said, that's far cheaper than our year-round, full Monty, if you will, processing, where you're talking about billing and registration and all that stuff. That hooks into the system in a different way, and it's far more expensive. It's over $30 a month for that model.
Oh, I see.
So really, it's a good deep discounted transaction model there, so that you can get it pretty cheaply, turn it on, and then turn it off when you're not using it.
Okay. Understood. Okay.
Well, yeah. So that's the key family interaction. I'm just gonna reiterate the power of the promotion tools. Takes far less time for families to go and promote through Facebook and email and hit a much broader audience. That drives a bunch of donors back to the online mechanism, where they tend to make higher donations on average, significantly higher, and you capture those dollars today. You're not going to lose a bunch of donations through the lag in collection, if you will.
And
Very powerful. And again, the technology makes this happen. Tough to do without it.
Very true. And the way to get this on the website that we currently have is basically pretty simple. How does that work? I'm just confused on how that actually works. All of a sudden, the button shows up on our website. Is that it?
More or less. So what happens is I'm going to put the introduction to Process Pink in your hands. You're going to get that process moving. As soon as we see your processing account approved and lit up, I am going to turn on the TeamUnify system. I'm going to send you an email saying, hey, looks like you're approved. Please answer these questions. If you can fire back questions on email to me, that tells me green light, turn it on, here's our dates. I set that up in our kind of back-end follow-up system, and you'll see this light up and turn on. You'll have access and can start building and setting up your event. Make it live when you're ready, communicate and promote it out to your families. They can start doing their thing that you just saw me walk through. So it all goes from there.
I see. Okay. So once we turn that on, then the admin page is what you were on. And then pretty much we send out the emails from the admin page, and then they go in and take care of it.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, well, that makes sense.
Okay. And what I'll do now is I'll sign out. Oh, just real quick, you can add offline donors here. So that's important. You can see that offline donor button. You can still, someone gets a $200 check from grandma, you can still put that into the system as an offline donation, and you can still even send receipts out to those donors electronically. The system will tally all those donations. You can leverage the reporting tools against those donations, so there's still a bunch of value there. We do charge a much smaller donor fee for an offline donation. It's only $1. And if you have the gear store turned on, if you at some point want to turn on your gear store, you can get that turned on, and that will get you free offline donations. Nice little payback program with that gear store as well.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I was looking that over. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth looking at. It's definitely a nice little program all by itself. But the fact that it gives you those free offline donations is a nice little bonus. But I will say this: if you end up not doing that, and you're still putting offline donations into the system, in terms of the time it saves you to do receipting and reporting and tallies and all that stuff, it's worth the time. Especially, hopefully, most of your donations are going to come through the online mechanism, where you're going to get more dollars per average donor.
How would an offline donation work? So someone would send me a check, and I would, and somehow I don't know how does that?
Yeah, you would just
enter
put it
it
right into the system, and I'll show you that. I'll show you that here in a little bit.
Oh, I see.
But you saw that initial, when I did the online donation, and I had that little fork in the road with donating to Carly or the family.
Yes.
The family would use it's basically that exact same mechanism. They're just putting in the details from the check, the address, the donor.
Oh, and then the treasurer would just basically and put it in the bank anyway. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to put it in and record it electronically, and then they're going to hand that check over to you, and you're going to see it in the system, and you can approve it based on your judgment.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, and then the receipts. everything that we use online is going to be tallied up, and the receipts are going to be available to view for the accountant. Okay. All the donations,
so
that is.
I'm going to log in here as an administrator, so we can just touch on a few administrative items. Here's the fundraising. So this is what it'll look like. TU Money will light up. You'll have the fundraising admin area. Opens up a nice little dashboard here. And this is where you can promote. We already looked at the promotion tool at the very beginning, where we sent those emails to our families.
Yes.
You can do lab tracking. You got a bunch of reports, so administrative reports to make your life easier, save you time in terms of running team stats. Your Swimathon financial and redemption forms, other performance reports here. So you've got all those tools available to you to make it easier. To set one up, I would just click Add New. Got a little pre-configured one here so you can look at it. It looks just like this when you set it up. And it's simple stuff. It's, radio buttons, it's text boxes, drop-down menus. Keep in mind, you can use this system very flexibly. Lots of teams obviously use it for swimathons, the USA branded swimathon. We definitely recommend you look at that. It's just a great fundraiser. It's tried and tested, and it's branded. You get that swimathon moniker. That's well known. It lights up and opens up incentives that you can get from USA Swimming as your kids hit certain donation amounts, and the dollars that go to USA Swimming, the 5% you pay against your gross donations, those dollars are well spent on swimming in underserved communities. So it's just a good way to go. But we also have teams that do their own style fundraising events. They'll do a swimathon the front half of the year and then come back and do their own little team triathlon the other half of the year. So you've got choices here and flexibility to use the system as you see fit.
I see.
Basic form setup on stuff, like I said, event messaging. You can pick that off of a template. You can type in your own event message here. Just all standard configuration style stuff in terms of radio buttons and just easy to use tools. You can set up your own donation list. So that's that list that potential donors pick off that list. How you choose to handle the donor fee. Again, 90% of our teams choose to push that fee entirely to the donor, and that's this middle option right here.
I see.
But you can do a portion if you choose to, or you can let the donor choose or bear that as a team.
Okay.
So with that said, you've got your accounting info. Your EIN number goes here, and that information will go off on all online receipts. So donations made through the online window, credit card style, will receive an automatic receipt. So that's something that will happen all by itself. You don't have to do anything there. And a donor then has your EIN number for their tax write-off purposes there.
Oh, great. Okay.
Even with offline receipts, as long as you collect an email address for every donor, you can fire off electronic receipts in bulk, so literally in a couple clicks to all your offline donors very easily.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. Document upload there, sign off on the appropriate fundraising agreement. So you'll always sign off on the TeamUnify agreement. But if you're doing a USA branded swimathon, you'll sign off on that one as well. You click Save Changes. You've just created and configured and saved your event. It's that easy. And you can reclone that setup year after year to make your life easier there.
I see.
Okay?
Okay.
So then, final thing to talk about here on setup is you do have a very useful incentive system to incentivize your kids to get out there and go after donations. Put some popular items in your first, second, third prize, and you're going to get kids chasing after those things, and it's going to amplify donation opportunities there. So definitely worth using the incentive system we've created. You can also set up incentives for top rosters, which means you average out the donations by swimmer and see how the average roster's done. And that's a great way to foster some team competition, as well as some other incentive options here if you choose to use them. And then last but not least, the USA Swimming Foundation incentives. As kids hit these dollar amounts, they're going to be able to garner these items from USA Swimming.
Oh, okay.
So, great tools there. And then just a couple things to close on. You do have help videos throughout the system, both for you and for your families to see what they need to see. So they can see someone click through all this stuff. And finally, the results window here, you can come in and see all your incoming donations. Very easy to filter things. So if I want to just see all my donations in a full list, you can see all that donation activity here. Let's say I've got all the envelopes from my families who garnered some offline donations as well. I can flag those, search on them, bring up all my offline donations,
Okay.
through my envelope, flag them all in one click, approve them. Those dollars will jump from kind of the staging not approved status to approved.
Okay.
And then right from the same selection, I can email a receipt out to these folks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I can email donors directly. If I have questions about donations made, I can email the family associated with the donation. And any list, whether it's the full list or a filtered list, I can export out to Excel and work with that data as I see fit.
Oh, great, yeah. We've been utilizing the email tool a lot lately. Ever since Karen got involved, she's been using it a lot for the team, so I think it might be pretty useful to step up to this. So.
Yeah, it's I'll tell you, administratively alone, it saves you a ton of time in managing this and keeping all your families aware of how they're doing. But also, and probably more importantly, those promotion tools and the email, the dynamic donation windows there. Between those two things, it just really amplifies results, and that's what teams are seeing. Teams that really leverage the technology and get a good chunk of their families out there promoting electronically, driving donors to the donor window are seeing huge results. So when we go and look at the detail behind these teams, such as Rockwood, who did more than 3 times the previous year in profits, and these types of teams that are seeing, 50% or more, 100%, 300% increases in donations, they are using the system as it's been designed.